Deep in the heart of the Sussex countryside, it's the Goodwood Festival of Speed, where Britain continues its love affair with the car, with world motorsport, and in particular with the great history that goes with it.
This year we honour the 50th anniversary of the great Mike Hawthorn becoming Britain's first Formula One world champion. It's 50 years of the British Touring Car Championship and the 50th anniversary of that prolific British constructor Lola. It's 60 years for Porsche and for Lambo, and 100 years since this car raced in the French Grand Prix. But you don't have to have a birthday to be featured at Goodwood. Grand Prix at Silverstone means you're very welcome here too.
And away from the track, there's even more to see. The cricket pitch is covered in dragsters. There's a mad motorbike rider turning up wherever he chooses, and an eclectic blend of celebrity judges and cars in the Cartier Steel A looks. And later on, I'm going to be having a go on the Forest Rally stage with the original Stig. But first, to the F1 paddock.
From Hawthorn to Hamilton is the theme of this year's Goodwood Festival, and you get the feeling that with 18 races on the modern Formula One schedule, there's precious little time for a Grand Prix driver to really relax and enjoy what his sport has to offer. Well, Goodwood provides that opportunity, and the drivers respond with the kind of display that they enjoy, and the crowd certainly enjoys as well.
Thousands turn up every year to see the Formula One teams let their hair down. The spins and the burnouts are thrilling for the crowds and the drivers alike. And Formula One probably gets the biggest welcome of the weekend.
There's a great reception, which was encouraging, I'm sure.
I did a really good first burnout, and I was thinking, wicked, I'm doing well here. Great to see so many people here, and what a beautiful day we got for it.
It's always nice to drive a World Championship car here in front of the crowd. And you want to push, but you don't want to go up, you know, so you have to find a compromise.
Well, I was spinning the wheels and, you know, try to get some smoke out of the tires, and I think it worked because they're nearly flat now.
It has been 3 very good days for me. It was the first time, and I really enjoyed it, so hopefully I'll be back next year.
Oh, very happy, very proud of driving the McLaren Mercedes, especially in an event like this.
There's the McLaren Mercedes here, and next to it is the Mercedes that won the 1908 French Grand Prix, 1 century apart. It is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much they have developed during the years, and I really would like to drive going downhill the other car. I'm sure that downhill it's as quick as this one, but the problem will come when I have to hit the brakes. But it's really great pieces of machinery, and I'm going to take my camera and take pictures when I finish.
Once again, the Goodwood cricket pitch has been this time into a drag strip recreation with some top American fuel dragsters driven by some of drag racing's most popular names. Now, it might seem unusual to see these cars in the UK, but this event is actually inspired by one that took place in the early 60s. That was when top American drag racers Tommy Ivo and Don Garlitz toured the UK with their top fuel machines, generating widespread British interest in this form of racing. Now, of course, drag racing is big in the UK, but it's huge over in the States. Huge. What do you do with these cars now? Because they surely can't conform to modern safety standards.
No, unfortunately they don't. But we have a sort of living museum, and we try to take these cars out as much as we can to it like this and fire them up for people. Sometimes we do fixtures, sometimes we do burnouts. It would just be a little bit scary to race them now, but we still have a lot of fun with them.
So tell me, why are the drag races so special to you?
Because they're very powerful and there's no sex discrimination. Women and men drive all the classes of all the cars. And there's been women world champions. And that's very appealing.
Have you had fun?
I've had a great time. I think it's so nice to introduce this very American sport to people in England who are more orientated towards sports cars than the Formula One. Although, you know, drag racing is pretty big over here. A lot of us just don't realize that.
Now, this event, the Goodwood Festival of Speed, it really is, I mean, it's terribly English in that it's such an unusual mix of cars and people. What do you make of it?
Oh, this is about my 4th or 5th time. I live in California now, but I always try to come back to this event, and I always work with the guys at Goodwood who are wonderful, Lord March, and we always try to bring something special over. I've even raced my own Bonneville car here. It's great.
So we leave the dragsters cackling away, and after the break, Steve's put to work as a riding mechanic in a 1908 Grand Prix car. The World Rally cars are in action on the Goodwood Forest stage, and Chris Evans catches up with Formula One sensation Lewis Hamilton.
Grand Prix motor racing got going round about 1906, but it was the French Grand Prix at Dieppe in 1908 with its big international entry that really represents a landmark in the development of the sport. And astonishingly, at Goodwood this weekend, we've got 9 cars that lined up in that race 100 years ago, including this Panhard in which Mark Walker is going to take me up the hill. I'm going to be the travelling mechanic, but given the condition of this wonderful bit of machinery, I'm surely not going to be needed. Tell me about the emotions when you look around now. 9 cars from 100 years ago is astonishing.
Well, it is astonishing, and there are no 06 Grand Prix cars left, there are no 07 Grand Prix cars left, and there are 9 from 1908, and every single 08 Grand Prix car on the planet is here today, and it's a fantastic achievement.
How hard are you going to go?
I'll be trying quite hard, so hold on tight.
Okay. Yeah, that's my job done. Done the fuel pump. Throttle pressure is good, away we go. First thing you notice is Mark's very urgent driving style, and the first job of the travelling mechanic to keep out of the way of his flying elbows. It was a fantastic ride, but you really only get part of an idea of the physical demands that this car makes. You can feel the 12-litre engine putting down the power, and it's remarkably smooth. Although I can't imagine what it was like to race these on the gravel surfaces of 100 years ago. To think that in 1908 this car took 9 hours to complete the 500-mile French Grand Prix, and we're only just doing a little over a mile. It's a supreme effort for car, driver, and the poor old travelling mechanic. You're buffeted, you're exposed to the elements, and it's a miracle that 9 cars have survived from 1908 to take on the hill just like us. I'm sitting in a racing car that's over 100 years old. Felt like it was still really racing. Fantastic.
Giving 12-time World Trials champion Dougie Lampkin a licence to roam at Goodwood was a very smart move, as he delighted the crowds wherever he popped up with his off-the-cuff improvised appearances. Well, Dougie, I think you are one of the stars of Goodwood this year. You really have captured people's imagination, getting up and seeing you so close. What's it been like?
It's been a great festival so far. Obviously, the opportunity to come down here I've missed for the last couple of years because of World Championship commitments and so forth. But no, it's just something so different. It's very spontaneous routines, basically everywhere and anywhere, including the house, the rooftop of the house, and just general surprise to the public.
You must be a bit scared being up there. I mean, it's windy amongst anything else.
Yeah, it was windy yesterday. That was the first time, really, it's been windy up there, so I didn't spend too long, but it is a great view from up there, so I might be up there a little bit longer today. But no, it's just one of those things, different opportunities, and I'm sure it won't come around to ride on a stately home rooftop previous to going through the house to start off with. So no, it's something different, something that I've never done before, but something that's really enjoyable.